Good afternoon, everybody. And good afternoon to every one of you TEA members out there and any other union representative out there today. Our president asked me one question. Her question was, what does this legislation say to me? And I sat there and thought about it, and I kind of just really was at a loss of words, but one thing came to my head. This legislation, in essence, would erase 51 years of our history.
Let's kill it.
That means that as a female minority, you take the work of Susan B. Anthony and many other great women that marched for rights, and you basically take an eraser about the size of the Titan Stadium and just kind of scratch everything out. And then you take the dream of someone like Dr. Martin Luther King and you basically make it null and void. And that was so sad to me, being an educator and all. I just thought that was the worst thing. And I remember taking a American history class, and our teacher got mad at us because we didn't bring our book to class, and he said this one profound statement. Do you know how many people marched and walked and fought and bled and cried and unfortunately died so we can just have rights that American citizens, that our Bill of Rights state that we're supposed to have? And I thought about that, and I thought, wow, how could someone just look upon a group of people and say, nah, you don't need that, and really hide about it? So I was at an NEA training in Tampa, Florida, and the presenter just told us one simple thing. When people try to get rid of a bill, ask why that bill was in place before you try to get rid of it, because in essence, it's to protect somebody. We have an association, a union, or I like to call it a national professional learning community, whose job is to look out for us because there are people against us. So in closing, we have to overcome the challenges we face today. It requires us to be united, and we have to move forward for tomorrow together. And if we're not together, we can't move forward at all. Thank you.
Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, KCEA, and all the East Tennessee folks. Thanks for being here today. We have another teacher with us that's willing to speak to us. Please welcome Kim Smith from Clarksville-Montgomery. When I was asked to speak to you today about what the anti-public education bills that are trying to be passed mean to me and other educators in my district and across the state, I sat down and started contemplating. I knew they upset me, but what did they mean to me deep down? After I thought for a while, I realized why these bills upset me so. We have members of our General Assembly that think because they were in a public school system 20 to 40 or more years ago, they know how to educate children. Well, I've been in a doctor's office, but I can't practice medicine. I've been in a lawyer's office, but I can't practice law. It also made me think, why can a doctor and a lawyer practice? But teaching has to be an exact science. I want to know why it's all right to pay people so much money to practice and educators so little to be perfect. I also thought about how some of these bills can change a family's financial situation, including mine, with the snap of a finger. It is scary to think your whole life could change for the worse because a few people want to act like bullies and threaten your well-being and livelihood when you have worked so hard, not with your mental or physical abilities, but with your heart. You have neglected your family, your friends, and yourself, and this is how you are shown appreciation. We don't wake up in the morning and get to work, sit around all day, then go home and relax and watch our favorite TV shows. We get up before the sun, rush to get to school to make sure we're ready for the day before our children get there. We teach all day and stay at school for an hour or two after the students leave. Then we pack our bags to take home what we can't finish, so we can at least sit in the same room with our families while we work. Then we go to bed and get up and start all over again. Why do we keep doing this? Is it because we get paid so little? Or maybe because we like working 10 to 14 hours a day and on the weekends? Or maybe it's because we like getting treated like second-class citizens. I would tell you why we do it. It's because of how a child's face lights up when he or she finally understands the concept. And you feel so proud of them for not giving up. It's because you worry about who will care about them if they aren't there. You know what else these bills mean to me? They mean that our elected officials lied when they took their oath of office. They swore to uphold the Tennessee and U.S. Constitution. They are trying to deprive you and me of certain rights that are guaranteed to us. To me, these bills mean they are trying to deprive us of life, liberty, or property. I say this because what I once had could be taken away because a politician didn't like whom I chose to vote for. I'm starting to wonder if some members of our legislature aren't aware there are laws to protect voters. To me, these bills mean they are trying to deprive us of our freedom of speech and to voice complaints to the government without fear of retribution. Because if this isn't retribution, I don't know what is. How could our elected officials who took the oath of office think these bills are morally and constitutionally correct? They are elected to protect our rights as citizens of this state and country, whether we voted for them or voted at all. They aren't there to take certain groups' rights away. That's discrimination. We are being punished because we practice our rights by outwardly supporting candidates that support public education and voicing our complaints to those elected that didn't. These bills were not written in the best interest of our children. These bills were written as a way to get even with a group of people that would not be bullied into supporting candidates who did not support them. If these bills were about children, they wouldn't have been written so great teachers and support staff would choose another profession because their rights as a professional and citizen were taken away. These bills sadden me because I realize certain members of our General Assembly did not think once, not once, about the impact these bills would have on our children. I know they didn't, because if they had, they would not be sponsoring or supporting any of these bills. Another thing this bill means to me and you is that we are going to have to stand united and strong against this attack on our profession. We cannot and will not back down. To you and me, the stand we have taken against these bills isn't about getting even or bullying. It's about the love we have for our profession and the children we teach. Because of this, we will stand united and strong.
Let me hear for the Middle Tennessee teachers. Who's here from Middle Tennessee? Who's here from the West? Who's here from Memphis and Shelby County and Fayette County and all out in the western counties? Let's hear you from the West Tennessee. My next speaker is from Shelby County Schools. Please.